Hey, hey, hey guys, this is Elizabeth Maxwell, and you are watching New Release Wednesdays at Otakon 2019.
What's up, everybody? This is Lewis Bailey with NRW, always giving you the NEW, and we're here at Otakon 2019. I got a very special guest with us. It's Elizabeth Maxwell, amazing vocalist and voice actress. Thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
This is your first time at Otakon 2019, correct?
It is, yes. I've heard about Otakon many years over, but this is the first time I've had the honor of being invited as a guest. So I was really excited. I mean, I love all conventions, but I was extra excited about this one.
Now, is this your first time into the Washington, D.C. area?
It is not. It is my second time, but the first time I came, I loved it so much that I made sure that I scheduled my flight to get in a couple days before Otakon started.
Excellent.
So that I could have some extra, sightseeing time. I feel like I could spend like a month on vacation here easily.
Oh yes, even 6 months being in DC is still not enough to see everything that we have to offer up here.
I love DC.
Great. So there is so much stuff that you've done, and if you don't know or haven't heard what the type of work she's done with the anime and video game community, you've been in Ghost of the Shell as Mikado, Fruits Basket, Dragonball Super, Attack on Titan, just so much pedigree there. I'm just kind of interested in knowing what was your favorite project to work on, and what did you like most about it?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's like asking a mother who her favorite child is. It's like they all become really special to you for different reasons, you know? Do I have to say one? Can I say like a couple?
Top three is
Okay.
usually the best way to handle those situations.
So Ghost in the Shell Arise was a big one for me, partially because it was in my first 3 anime gigs of all time. I think it was number 3 for me. So it was my first lead. And I grew up watching Ghost in the Shell. You know, the original movie was the first anime I ever saw in my life.
Oh, nice.
So I was a Ghost in the Shell fan to start with, and then to get to play like the new incarnation of the Major was like a really big personal deal for me. Scared the pants off of me.
Totally
I was
geeking
so
out.
nervous. But that was one. Voicing Urbosa in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was a big one.
Oh my gosh, you just made those characters amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So awesome.
Yeah,
So
I mean every step of that journey from start to finish was so incredible. I mean, it's such an iconic franchise. It was a historical moment in that it was the first time they'd really used voiceover, and that character was very near and dear to my heart. I loved Urbosa very, very much, and she's one of the few characters where I almost feel like I just channeled her. Like sometimes I put a lot of thought into like creating a character, and with her I felt like she already existed in the ether, and I just like was just a vessel for her to come out.
It could definitely be felt. It could definitely be felt.
So yeah, I'd say I'll leave it at 2, but those were 2 big ones for me.
Excellent. I'm a big gaming fan, so you've done a lot of video game work. As you said, Zelda, my favorite, Persona 5, as say, a very different stylizing of vocal work that I see from your normal talking voice to that. What kind of brought you into using that type of voice to characterize Sei?
Well, it's interesting. Atlas and the director Yunamba was actually, he already knew exactly what he wanted, and they apparently had a hard time finding it because Sei is a young character. She's only in her mid to late 20s, but she works in a man's world. She's got a very kind of like aggressive alpha sort of job. So they wanted a voice that could command that authority, but that didn't sound too old.
Right.
And Yu was having a hard time finding that combination. And luckily for me, he's an anime fan, and he said that he watched Attack on Titan, he watched Ghost in the Shell Arise, and he heard my voice in those animes and was like, that's the voice I want. And it's also one of the few jobs where I didn't have to audition. You just,
wow, you just came
contacted
right in.
me and was like, would you be interested in working with us on this? And I was like,
why would I not?
yes, please. So,
amazing.
so you mean I had a hand in working with you on developing her personality, but as far as how she sounded, you knew exactly what he wanted.
Perfect. That makes everything so easy.
Yeah.
So anybody who's trying to get into the voice acting career, what advice would you give anybody who's trying to get into the industry? What is any important advice?
I guess my practical advice, and this seems like kind of a no-brainer, but get into an acting class or an improv class if you're not already in one. It's a great way to network, truly. And B, they call it voice acting for a reason. And, having a really cool voice definitely helps, but it's not enough in and of itself. The networking thing is really big. I highly recommend seeing what kind of communities, acting communities exist where you live. Find them online, do fan dubs, do whatever you can to kind of start meeting people and working and getting your creative juices flowing so that when a big opportunity comes up, you're not going into it cold. And then I also highly encourage specificity. I know as creatives, a lot of times we want to feel like we can do everything, but one of the easiest ways to kind of find a little bit of success more easily and more quickly in this industry to me is to get really specific about, like I'm really good at doing these specific voices or these specific accents, and try and get known for doing what you're really good at. And then a little later on, then you can start encouraging people to cast you against the grain and so forth. But the more specific you are, the easier it is for people to find you and cast you.
Excellent. That's some wonderful advice. And thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely, my friend.
It was great to meet you.
It was really lovely to meet you too.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Once again, everybody, that was Elizabeth Maxwell. We still got a lot to show you here at Otakon 2019. Stay tuned, and for everybody here, nerds rule the world. See you later.